Hey everybody, thanks for joining us this morning. This is Politically Incorrect Knitters. I am Deplorable Knitter. This is the lovely Ann Pinkova. And we came out a little bit short notice, so hopefully you guys will be finding us soon. But until then, it's you and me, girl. So,
yeah. And thank you for everyone who did show up.
Yes. So, before we get going, we are sponsored by Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. She has beautiful yarn. She has lovely, lovely things in her shop, and you can use our code PIKDeviled for 20% off of your order of $50 or more. So that's pretty excellent.
Colors such as these, which is thicket, and
I
mean, we love thicket.
No wonder I love it.
We've talked about this before, how pretty it is. Oh, there it is, stained up, beautiful. Yeah, check it out. This one is, sorry, can't see it as well in lighting, but sagebrush. So yes,
pretty.
Very, very pretty. Love her greens. Love all of her yarn. Check out Chicken Lady. Find her selection. She, has new fall colorways. She has, hang on, yarn for the Puritanical Knitting Fun Run.
Yes. Oh, mine is downstairs where I'd show you. I balled mine up. I think if you're watching on Rumble, it was the placeholder picture. So there you go. But it's really, really pretty, y'all.
Yes, the party like it's 1621. Woot woot. So yes, she has lots of very beautiful yarn. Do check her out. And yeah,
it's all lovely. Yes. And Anne mentioned the Puritanical Knitting Fun Run. So that is our knit along we've got going on right now. It started in October, which I can't believe it's already October, but here we are.
I know.
But you can join us by knitting with black, dark gray. At least 75% of your yardage should be those things. And you can make whatever you want to as long as it falls into the guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty chill. I promised that we would have merch, and I promised probably that it would be this week, but I had a family emergency, and so my week unfortunately went right in the crapper. And so hopefully this week is better, and I'll get that for you guys.
Yeah,
but it's been rough.
Cool logo. Yeah.
What was that, Anne?
No, I was just saying it's a cool logo for the fun run.
It is a cool logo.
It's been a rough week for you.
Yeah, but in the comments from last week, people were asking for like hats and maybe different things. So yeah, if there's something you'd like to see, I am going to be making the merch, and let me know, because that's cool. So yeah.
Good stuff.
That's the deal. I will get it going, hopefully this week.
Well, I see you knitting away. Do you want to go knitting first, or shall I?
Sorry, my boss was texting me. I have to run out of here and go clean a house, and so I got distracted for a minute. Sorry, friends. Yeah, so I am making a cowl. This is by Chris Crafter. I don't think she's an active designer anymore, but she just had like a blog where she put up some free patterns. This Taylor Swift channel, I got distracted. I'm so distracted this morning. I apologize. But this is her Bridger cowl, and I'm not sure who it's for yet. I'm using a Karen Blossom cake that I found. So I don't know. It's pretty. It's cute. It's probably going to be a gift for like a neighbor or one of the people I work for. I just thought that I have such a big stash, and this is like worsted weight yarn on size 10.5 needles. So it's nice. It's not too thin, but it's not
wooden square needles.
Yeah. These are the ones I believe Chicken Lady. My computer's trying to restart. Holy moly, this is not my morning. I think these are the ones that Chicken Lady got me, which means that they're knit They came in this case. I can't remember the brand.
Mm-hmm.
But with all the rearranging, they were the first ones I found, so I was excited. And Chicken Lady is that. So, hey, good morning.
Lynn. But yes, no, I was just noticing because I have a pair of those and I like them, but they're interesting. They're different.
I almost exclusively knit with square needles.
Really?
And I always use wood. Yes.
Wow.
And I know that that's not the thing and people don't like it, but I like the way that the wood holds onto my yarn well enough that I don't feel like it's too slippery. And I like the square ones. I don't know. They're just really comfortable for me. So it is what it is. You find what you like, you use it, you know? Holy moly. I'm sorry I look like a wreck, friends. I gotta go clean a house. I did my best.
Well, you know.
So yeah, this is what I've been working on. And it's funny because I was so busy. And I wanted to knit and I had the time to, which is weird because I was so busy, but I think that so my stepdad ended up having emergency surgery. That's what happened. And between that and work and everything, I just, when I was home, I was like, I just want to like relax. I just want to, and so I ended up knitting a kind of, I mean, there's a little bit of lace, but if you haven't made a Chris Crafter project before, she's got a lot of like scarves and they all have this where you cast on like 4 stitches and then every row you cast on like 4 more to get the shape. And so like the scarves have that, like they're long and thin, but they have almost a shawl shape to them. I really, I've made a couple of hers.
Have that sort of triangle front too to kind of tuck into your coat.
Exactly. But she does her scarves like that too, which I like. They don't start on one end and go to the other end. They start in the middle and they go out. So that's fun. Lacey says, sorry about my stepdad. Thank you. He's doing much better. He it was an emergency and now it's better and we're very happy about that. And yesterday I had to bring him a lot of books, which shows that he's feeling much better because he needed something to do. So it's exciting. Yeah. Adam says so far so shit. Yeah, that's pretty much where I've been. So true story. So what's new with you, Anne?
Well, I am going to show off my brand new blanket idea. But before I show off my brand new one.
Oh, exciting.
I know. I'm really excited. I hope people really like it. But do remember that I have, hang on, my knit coffin quilt is out. So seeing a lot of people pick it up. So thank you guys. But also if you haven't yet, oh no, she's frozen. There you go. Back.
I wasn't sure if it was me or you. Are we good?
I think we're good.
Maybe not. Okay.
I hope so. But anyway, if you haven't picked it up yet, please do. It's a lot of fun. Hope y'all like making it. It's very, I know, knitting back and forth the coffins. It's a very rhythmic, very, easily memorizable sort of a pattern. So yeah, it is. It's fun. It's cool. It's out. It is for sale on Etsy and Lovecraft. But yeah, just reminding everybody about that. And sorry, thinking of Chicken Lady. So I got some good yarn this week. So my mother, I may have mentioned before, she also knits. She loves to knit sweaters in particular, but she'll do this thing where she gets exactly the yarn that she has for her sweater, and then when it's over with, she will just hand the rest of it to me, which is awesome. It's amazing because she's like, "Oh, you're muted, by the way." But
I thought I unmuted myself. So she doesn't have any sort of stash?
No.
I don't understand.
Like she has sweater quantities for different things that she has not made yet. But once the thing is done, she's like, yeah, I don't want the rest of this. Any sort of scrap yarn
Wow.
leftovers. She's like, I don't care. And I'm like, I love all things scrap and leftover. Please hand this
We
to
know
me.
that about you, as
Exactly.
one can see from all of your projects as of late.
Exactly. So, and like she way not way overdid, but whatever sweater she got, I forget if she changed the pattern or which pattern she
Mhm.
was using, or if this just the estimation was crazy, because she's like, oh yeah, I just finished these two sweaters, so I got 2.5 skeins of thicket from her and
Ooh.
the leftover sagebrush too. And she did this beautiful colorwork sweater. I'm like, I think I have some sagebrush, which means cumulatively, because I also have a skein of thicket. Now, it probably wasn't the same dye lot, but still, um, of everything going on. So I'm like, 3.5 skeins of thicket and 1.5 of sagebrush. That's a sweater. I don't know
That
which
is a sweater.
and I'm like, ooh, I'm
Nice.
yeah. I'm like, let's go. And also, she had some yarn. She had got the cowboy sweater kit from Mystery Mouse, and then she ended
Mhm.
up knitting it into a different sweater. Which Cheryl's pattern is pretty awesome. They're doing a knit along. So do check it out. But sorry for the ruffle. But yeah, so I have like extra greens and oranges and pinks and stuff. I'm like, this is gonna be great. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's exciting.
That's it.
And didn't you have other yarn you meant to show last week, but you forgot? Do you have that
I
right
did.
around
I
or
did.
no?
I did have
Okay.
that
Not to put
because
you on
we
the
had
spot.
our no, totally. I will show off yarn before showing off anything because
Uh-oh. I
um
hope it's you. I hope it's me and not you.
oh no, we good? Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, we had our local fiber festival a couple weeks ago. So the the coffin quilt that I had, my mix of fibers, here we go. That two of the yarns that I first grabbed out when I was grabbing colors was from Cato Yarn Company, which is a local yarn dyer to me. But yeah, this white speckled and this purple speckled. And I don't know if anybody remembers that I had started a cowl with these two yarns, but the contrast was all wrong. You
I
could barely
remember.
see it. Yeah, it was sad because it was a pretty idea. But yeah, so I pulled that apart and used it for this blanket. And I think, did pretty well. But that was her autumn colorway a couple of years ago. So, I picked out some. These aren't her specific autumn colorways, but I think they're pretty dang autumnal. Um, but yeah, hang on. I hope the colors show up well, because these are just beautiful. And I'm not sure if they should go together or apart yet.
I feel
No,
like they could do either confidently.
I know that. Do they go together so much? This one is way more gray than it's turning out on screen.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's turning out more teal when it is very, very dusky and gray. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Grunge is her colorway. And then
Cool.
Neptune and Dusty, which is very Weasley. Um, anyways, so these are lovely. And then I got, hang on. I got some opal yarns. Oops. Because, yeah, who can go wrong with some opal? But yeah, that's pretty much my yarn haul for that. And I always enjoy new yarn. Of course we do. It's a yarn show. I think she's frozen. Do. Anyways, that's very pretty. All the oranges and reds. And that the brown could go either way. Heels and toes. Excuse me. Yeah. The gal even had these little tiny opal minis. There you are.
Hey, I could hear you for most of it, so.
Okay. Anyways, opal yarns,
Yeah.
which and are pretty standard, but also we all need opal yarns, some good stock yarns.
Yep.
Oh, and I forgot, very, very important that with the Cato Yarn Company, she had these little tiny stitch markers, and it's a fried egg. Very important for everybody to have a fried egg stitch marker.
I mean, why not, right?
I didn't know that I needed it actually until I saw this little tiny fried egg. This one's
Mm-hmm.
it's very important. Anyway, so yeah, that's me getting yarn. And it's nice. It's nice to, obviously, big fan of Chicken Lady and all of our yarn dyers, but it's also nice to like get out and touch yarn in person and look at the colors and everything. So yeah.
Yeah. I often go to my local yarn store and just like look at the yarn and then squish it, and then it's always a good time. Just because I can. I don't necessarily have to get anything. I just am happy to look at it.
Yeah.
So
Here, one sec.
Mm-hmm. But instead of touch grass, it's touch yarn. I think that's acceptable. Absolutely.
It's very important. But yes, Lynn, a day fondling yarn is a good day. But I have my new project I want to show off to you. Sorry to keep going.
Oh yeah, go for it. No, keep going.
But
yarn is always a good day.
Yeah. So this new blanket, and I have to thank Joan, Mom, and Evan for giving me this idea, because after the coffin quilt, which again, love the coffin quilt. Okay, big fan. I'm there, you're there. But this, the basic shape was suggested by Joan as something a little, I don't know, more widely enjoyed, I guess you could see, a little more.
A little less niche, a little,
Yes,
not everybody wants coffins on their couch or bed. So
not everybody. And gifting somebody a coffin blanket is a little
could be
different.
weird.
Yeah, it could be weird. It could be weird. You could have some, unless you really, really know the person, they'd be like, what's with this? And you're like, eh. So hang on. I have so many. Started a new pattern. It is.
It's pretty. And I'm not one for blankets, but I'm a fan.
Here. It is it is a heart quilt. Hang on.
Yeah.
There we
go.
There
you go. That's better.
That's better.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm
sorry, Chicken Lady said, please don't donate the coffin quilt to a hospital or long-term care facility.
Exactly the point. But see, the heart blanket, and see, this is left over from Lynn's Over the Rainbow yarn. So you can see
pretty
rainbow heart in the middle of the pinks and pastels, that they're looking very like those chalky Valentine candies.
Yes. Conversation hearts. Those are always fun.
Yeah. But anyways, that this is, you can do baby blankets and, gifts for newlyweds and family things. And also, thanks, Lacey. But yeah, and also I'm thinking, so my proposed name for it is the Cottage Hearts quilt. But, again, thinking in browns, this would, and you can do, I'm sorry you're laughing because I love brown, obviously. I'm going to take one and then.
I was going to make a comment about is it killing you to work in those pastel colors because they're actually not you?
Yes. Well, but most of the yarn for this, Nitty McPurley, at her retreat, she had these pastel minis. So I, also Um, so it's like, oh, they're lovely. And mom's like, okay. And she also got the pastel minis because she was also at the Knitting McPurl retreat. And she's like, oh, these are nice, but I don't know what to do with them. So she handed them to me, and I'm like, double pastel minis, winner, winner. Again, I feel like I get the inheritance from this. But that means that I could put this into this quilt, but I'm holding them double. So this is sized at a DK weight. So if they were in fingering, they'd be little tiny hearts, which might be like a weaving in ends pain, but also would be absolutely adorable.
Well, and if you were making it as like baby blanket size, the littler hearts might be like,
Yeah. Or, I mean, like a lot of people, in my mind, a lot of people like the little mitered square blankets where, you have all this stuff. And anyways, that I'm like, this would, you can, so I'm knitting it in a similar way from, well, that's very kind, Lynn. But I mean, please use, I mean, it's your yarn. I'm just, over here.
She won't say no, though. That's the answer.
That is true. I will not say no, but also, I'm not, even though I'm happy to take, things from my mother. I'm not, don't want to beg or not beg,
Yes, I understand.
But anyways, so difference between this and the coffin quilt. The coffin quilt, if you're looking at it, you start on the bottom left corner and you knit upwards. And this one, because of the way that the hearts are, you're sort of knitting it sideways. So, this is the upright on it, and you're knitting it from one deal going up. But yeah, and it's nice, and because it's increases and decreases, and it's the join the same way that you find in like Jelly Roll and Northeasterly, and I did in the coffin quilt. That there's a rhythm to it. Again, which I know I kept saying for the coffin quilt, but you can memorize the pattern, it goes back and forth, and you can get the heart shape without having to change colors or do anything like that. So
I love how you're like, it uses the same join as this and this and this. And I'm just thinking, I've never looked at that join on any of those things because I have no interest, but I'm excited for you.
Well, I did do a little video on my personal YouTube channel. That's just Ann Pinkava. But the video was it was just very briefly on how I do intarsia and the coffin quilt, and then how I do the join. There won't be an intarsia option for the heart one because I started one of my sample heart blankets with intarsia, and the coffin quilt, if you have two going side by side, the increases and decreases are on the same thing. But on the heart quilt, you have to remember which direction, because you're doing some increases shorter for the short parts of the heart, and there's a lot of switching back and forth. So having two hearts to figure out which is switching, that was just, I'm like, I don't even like this, and I'm the intarsia person. We're not doing this. We'll do a single heart at a time. And anyways, so yeah, so if you want to look at the video, if you're either just interested in how I do the join, or if you're like, oh, I'm not sure, do check it out.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm hoping people like this. Also, okay, sorry, killer for Christmas, I think, if you did red and green and golds little heart blankets, that'd be adorable. Sorry. Or at least I think so. Maybe it's just me.
I mean, you think all of the, geez Louise, I can't even think of words. But you like all of the little scrappy projects, and so I'm sure you would think it's killer for most any occasion, which is fine.
Oh, it is true. It is true. I love scrappy projects. I love garter blankets in particular. But yeah, kind of my thing. But anyways, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As Lacey said, baby blanket of the year, man. Everyone will be knitting one of these. I'm sure of it.
Hey, you never know.
Or,
Cool. All browns and then do a heart in bright orange or red.
mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That'd be cute.
It would be cute, but I'm like, brown. Brown is not my thing. That's okay. It has its time and place. I make brown things for my husband because he's like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking for the browns one, I'm like, okay, so I'll do a lot of browns and then, some greens and like maybe a couple of pink squares in there too. Mm-hmm. So it's not, again, thinking very, very warm tones. And because, okay, this pastel blanket's very cute. Pastels aren't normally my thing. So having a bedspread, that way would be. Mm-hmm. Also, I did one of my little sample hearts in opal sock yarn with all of the, color variation. Also very cool. But
very good.
Anyway, that's what I'm working on.
Very good. So, it's already 9:40, and we have to talk politics. I'm sure you know more than I do this week. Mm-hmm. But let's do rapid fire because I have to get my butt going to work shortly. So,
okay. Well, where do you want to start? Yeah,
you tell me.
Okay. Stuff in America, stuff abroad. There was a terrorist attack in Manchester this week, which was it was a terrorist attacked a synagogue and killed 2 and was stopped at the door, would have killed more without intervention. Mm-hmm. But the guy who intervened had died. But specifically, targeting the synagogue. And anyways, that there was, there's always the quick hush up about, what the guy's name is, what are his motives. And mm-hmm. It was, well, the British police very clearly knew his motives right away. The guy's name was Jihad al-Shami was his name. And he was also out on bail for rape charges.
Sounds like a stand-up guy.
That's right. If, it's like this is beyond parody at this point. And there's official British Twitter channels being all like, jihad can mean a lot of things. It can mean a lot of things. We have experts and they say that it can mean a lot of things. And somebody else, it was like, oh, yes, and this is the counterterrorism officials. And the counterterrorism officials say that this man might have been, a part of radical Islamism. Yeah.
Probably. I mean, it sounds like it to me. I mean.
Right. Kind of a bit. And his dad came out with a statement and was all like, oh yeah man, I condemn what my son did. And first off, if you look back in his previous public messages, we have him praising the stalwart and scrappy fighters of October 7th, and praying for their success, which is bad. And mm-hmm. yeah, just to put that mildly. But all of the memes is like, I can't believe my son Stabby McStabby Stab could have done this thing. I've always raised him to be peaceful.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah, but there's naturally the quick government shutdown of it is, again, like I said, man whose first name is Jihad, attacks a synagogue is like, how do you spin that? They're trying as hard as they can. You really, really can't. but it's the big shut up that you can't say this and you can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, big story this week. There's also kind of a smaller story in Canada, which do you remember the residential school story where they said
Of
that there
course.
was, yeah,
All the people that died, and yeah, I remember that.
yeah, that all of these Christian schools had mass graves next to them because they, were just horrible to the
Mm-hmm.
native students, and then it turned out that that was not true at all. But so there's a gal. Her name is Lindsay Shepherd, and she is a comms officer, which is not Star Trek, but an official title in the Canadian Conservative Party. But kind of like the BLM stuff, Canada has these orange flags, and orange is the color of, we're so sorry for, everything we've ever done, being a
Mm-hmm.
Christian nation. That it's the big apology. And when you go into and there's a picture in public buildings where you have, here's the Canadian crest, and here is a framed orange T-shirt. Again, we're sorry we exist. And yeah, and this gal was saying, hey guys, this has been proved to be a sham. This is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? And she was fired for that from the Conservative Party of Canada. Excuse me.
Of course.
Mhm. But yeah, that you have, land of land acknowledgements. But anyways,
I
yeah.
don't. These people, they don't get how it was back in the day. You know what I mean? They think it is like it is now. Like, no, back in the day, people were fighting and feuding and conquering, and if you lost, then other people got your stuff. Like it, I mean, it still happens now, but not to the extent it used to. And I don't know why we have to apologize to the weaker people. Like your weapons weren't as good. Sorry. I don't know.
Like like years ago, we conquered this land, and then we integrated you into our system, and gave you rights and crap.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you could go back to, whatever. Sorry. Okay. So we got fired for,
For pointing
okay.
out the truth, and it is again, it's oppression theater. It's like, oh, we're so sorry for, but also it's the perpetuation of a lie. It is straight up a lie. It's been proven to be a lie, and they're still playing along with the lie.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, speaking of playing along with a lie, we either have um Pope Leo, Bob from Chicago, blessed a giant ice cube at a Vatican event. And then the people around him did this sort of like woohoo climate dance, which I don't know if he was informed of beforehand. It's entirely possible he could have been
Oh,
blindsided.
okay. I
But
want to know about him blessing a giant ice cube. Explain this to me, please.
the event was called Raising Hope for Climate Justice at the Vatican.
That sounds
So
horrible.
yeah,
Okay.
you can't really miss that. But I mean, you have, that you have blessed water, you have holy water. So I guess in the giant ice cube sense, that is also water that can be blessed. But it was
Okay.
specifically because of, quote, climate change and the icebergs melting that it was a big old boulder of ice.
Okay. Okay.
Superman's dad would have loved it. And yeah, that's my.
Okay. That's fantastic. Okay. Thank you.
Well, and then afterwards, he gave his position that you cannot be anti-abortion and anti-death penalty, which I know that a church's teaching on that could change over time. Not my church, but that is like, well, you can't equate that because also, the biblical laws of the Old Testament still exist, and there was very much a death penalty, and there was a
Right.
death penalty that that was prescribed for the government to have. That some people say that the government shouldn't have the ability to kill people, which I can see that being argued, but I don't think you can say that God is against the government having that prerogative. When he instituted a government in Israel, he had the death penalty.
Right.
But
Interesting.
anyway, but yeah, that's his own can of worms over there. Like you can, but still, for the Pope's Catholic position, and again, not Catholic, but it's like, well, that's difficult.
Yeah.
But there's that. There was Hegseth did a big speech this past week, which
I was watching Crowder, who I never watch, but they were talking about Hegseth's speech, and then they were talking about how the mainstream media is like, oh, nobody clapped for him. They all just stood. And Crowder was like, as the leader of the military, that's what they do when he leaves. Like, do you not know anything? So
like that was warranted. Anyways,
and then they clapped when he left after they were at ease.
right.
Right?
Yeah, which is protocol. And the speech was about having more strict protocols, which I kind of thought was funny. I like Trump's speech better, but Hegseth's speech was like strong word, strong word, strong word, Christian phrase. Like, okay.
You know what though? Everybody was all freaking out about the whole like, oh, why does everybody have to do pull-ups? Blah blah pull-ups. I heard the word pull-up more time than I've heard it in my whole life, and I'm like,
and you've had children.
Okay, so on the battlefield, you probably don't need to actually do a pull-up, but if you have upper body strength and you are strong and you have the ability to lift your whole body weight with your arms, then probably in a situation where you need to lift something, carry something, pull a soldier that got in, like there are things that happen. So everybody's like, oh, these pull-ups.
And also, pull yourself up if you're like hanging off the side of something.
Right.
There's an old internet joke about Gandalf when he's off the side of the cliff and he's like, everybody run. It's like, that's right. He's an old guy. He couldn't pull himself up. He just had to let go. There was no rescuing him at that point. Did not have
I don't
the
know
upper
what that
body
means,
strength.
but okay. I mean, I know who Gandalf is, but apparently he fell off a cliff.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Anne. I just don't know some of these things.
I'm sorry. My nerd references. No, but the meat of his speech that's like, no, we're doing standards for real and we're not messing. I enjoyed that. I thought that was very good. It was very straightforward. It's like we're not apologizing. We're actually having standards, and those standards go all the way up the ranks.
Yeah, because what? You're a general now, you are going to be fat and lazy, and no, you should. I have an employee, right? And I'm very much the kind of boss where like, if I'm going to ask you to do this thing, it is something that I am also going to do, right? And that's what I think it comes down to. If you're in charge of people, you should never ask them to do something that you yourself are not willing to do.
Yeah.
And so
At
yes,
least from the front. Yeah.
Yes, generals and people in charge should be strong and capable and combat ready.
Mhm.
Pull-ups are freaking hard. I can't do any, but I'm also fat.
Well, people were clowning on Ted Cruz too. That's like, oh, Ted Cruz is out of shape. Why is he agreeing with Hegseth that there needs to be military standards? And people were like, oh man, guy who hasn't been to medical school thinks his doctor should. It's oh, like what?
I was going to say Ted Cruz isn't a general or a
No,
major or did I miss something? Is he
no,
someone I
no,
don't know about?
yeah, none of those things. It's like, yeah, there should be standard for jobs that, I do not have the job and also I do not meet the standard.
Right.
If I
Right.
were to meet the standard, that would be cool, but also irrelevant for if jobs should have
Relevant.
standards.
Yeah. And I know that we were on a different topic, but speaking of Ted Cruz, he has given up his salary during the shutdown, which I'm sure that not many people are doing, or maybe they are. He's the only one I've seen, I guess. But
I think Dusty Johnson has too, but like I said, I also haven't seen. I've only seen Dusty Johnson because he is my representative.
I was
Um,
to say I don't know who Dusty Johnson is. That explains it.
oh, speaking of nerds, he's a pencil neck geek, and now he's running for governor. Did I tell you the thing about his anti Planned Parenthood ad?
No,
Okay, so
maybe I don't remember.
okay, because I'm from South Dakota and we only have like 3 guys and they all switch seats all the time. So there's a big picture of him smiling, bright blue sky background, Dusty Johnson for governor, defund Planned Parenthood. I'm like, in case you don't know, there are no Planned Parenthoods in the state of South Dakota.
That's what I thought.
There's none. Actually, there hasn't been for years now. And I mean, like it's great and all that, but and also the whole defunding of Planned Parenthood is something that Trump already did, actually on a federal level. So I don't know what he plans to do. I don't know that any of the state legislation was funding Planned Parenthood. Again, not an organization in South Dakota. And if you also can't, if any members of the state of South Dakota want to privately fund an abortion facility in other states when with their own private money, you can't stop them. I mean, people do lots of stupid things. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't, it's like your job's already done. In order for this ad to be effective, you would have to be conservative and not paying attention. Like, not at all, not even close.
I mean, it's kind of funny.
Though I
Do
did.
we like him for governor, or is he just like? I know you said that in South Dakota there's 4
Yeah,
politicians and they all just keep switching jobs.
they
So
do. They do. And one of the other guys, I'm not super impressed with him. Like, again,
mhm.
he talks a big old game. Um, but yeah, if Dusty Johnson does the Christy Gnome thing, oh look at that.
Look at that! I made the thing. Ha ha!
Yay. Yeah. If Dusty Johnson does the Christy Gnome thing and, mostly spends their time not interfering, but also shoveling a lot of money to big corporations so they come to our state. On one hand, I hate that because I hate government money flying around on things they shouldn't be. But I can see that their job is to bring that they see their job as bringing business to the state of South Dakota. So it's like, I don't like that cronyism. That's all crap. But it's like, I
That's
can,
what it is too.
it
I
is
don't know,
what it
man.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hate your guts, guys. But again, if you mostly stay out of my day-to-day life, that's awesome. That was, during the COVID thing, the whole staying out of my life was
Yep.
very appreciated. So it's like, I don't know, don't have a super amount of respect for my government, but also South Dakota is one of the freest places around. So don't show up here.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
shoot.
Don't go there. It's a terrible place. I mean,
It
in the
is. Hey,
winter,
shoot.
it gets so cold. They have to plug their cars in to make them run. So
That's right. It's
who
bitterly
wants
cold.
than
The
that?
sky wants you dead. You know, we shoot our dogs here. It's rough.
All right. So what else do we have?
Um,
Quick, because I got a few more minutes. I
oh,
gotta go work.
also, I didn't mention Trump's
Hmm.
speech at the Hegseth deal. Okay, it was hilarious. It was so good. But also, I like Trump had some one-liners in there that it's like, whoa, this is. And then afterwards, we have gotten to the point where Trump and his administration can just say controversial stuff as jokes and it's like it's not even getting wider pickup. I'm like, well, this is crazy. Like Trump was talking about nuclear power, going on about how we want to keep our nuclear defenses strong but we never want to use it. But and then he just kind of pauses and laughs. He's like, nuclear power, I like to call it the N word. It's like there's two N words you should never use. We should never use nuclear. He just like goes on. What the heck?
I missed all of that. Okay.
No, it was funny. Anyways, but yeah, his speech was good and very rah troops and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
I was giggling. Oh, speaking of states, not South Dakota, but New York, that there was CDL licenses given, but the name on it was no name given. So it was an officially state issued license, but they didn't think that you actually had to have the guy's name on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and also to kind of because we've mentioned Charlie Kirk's assassination and sort of the aftermath of it. Tyler Bower, who spoke at Charlie's funeral, and also is a major part of Turning Point, the organization. He is getting pretty fed up because there have been accusations that the people at Turning Point must have been in on the assassination.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, guys, like, again, he's still recovering from, his close friend of many years' death. And I don't
Right.
think if, you can really fully recover from that, but it is right after, and he has to go out and do, he has to do retractions, he has to do things. And there was specifically Candace Owens and some Tucker Carlson mutterings, but it was very much of, oh no, shadowy forces, and by shadowy forces they mean Jews, were offering him so much money. No, he was under so much pressure because he wouldn't do their agenda, and he wrote this letter to Netanyahu. Okay, and the letter to Netanyahu came out, and the letter starts with how much of a deep love and appreciation he has for Israel. And also, I think your media presence, that you're not doing enough to, not doing enough in an accusatory way, but it's like I think you can do more to combat these
Mm-hmm.
pro-Palestinian lies. And he's like going down the list. He's like, I think that there should be kind of it's like, you could do man on the street interviews about how much people love living in Israel, and you could do a press tour of former hostages so they could tell their stories. And they're like going down the line. He's like writing to Netanyahu and saying like, I think this story needs to get out. I think we need to hear your side of the story. And it was all of the no receipts mutterings of, it's like, actually Charlie Kirk hated Netanyahu and was going to turn on Israel, and his entire life having a pro-Israel stance, that he was going to turn on a dime here. So it was like, look, if you if you disagree with a guy, you disagree with the guy, but don't try to change what he thought after he was dead, because that's just
Yeah.
not how it was.
I'm sick of people who are like, oh, well, I was such good friends with him, and then come to find out, like, he barely spoke to them. They weren't. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's so much. I mean, I get it. People want to be important, so I get it, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's stupid stuff, but also it's, you know, that the leaders of the Turning Point organization are they're reeling, but also, okay, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do moving forward? And to have the additional pressure of, again, people accusing the people at Turning Point of having a hand
Mm-hmm.
in, the very public and awful demise of their friend.
Right.
Anyways.
Right.
But yeah, we are at our time. You said you got to go.
I got to go to work. I'm sorry, friends. It's just, I'm telling you, this week kicked my butt. But I'm glad to see you all. I'm glad everybody was able to come. Stephanie said that she just got her first chicken lady order on Thursday and she loves it. So congrats. Welcome to the dark side. We appreciate you. But I think that Anne and I are going to start getting our lives back together and possibly, I haven't talked to her about this yet, but we've got to start knitting wars again. There's things we want to do. There's interviews we want to have. So hopefully we'll start.
Well, I was talking to DK privately, and it's not like I cannot, private message certain people and chat, but I'm like, knitting wars is different. Knitting wars is, there's some people that I only at least video call with there that I don't see other places. So
yeah.
Anyway.
But so we are happy that you guys are all here and we appreciate it. Don't forget to use our code PIKDevil to get 20% off of your order of $50 or more over at chickenladyfiberarts.com. Enter to win our giveaway for this month, which is not what Anne is holding. It is Eastern Bluebird.
No, Eastern Bluebird was last month's colorway.
I'm always wrong.
Right. Well, I don't have anything grabbed right now, but comment anyways, because there will be a giveaway for this month. I'm not sure what the giveaway will be yet. We will announce the giveaway next month or next week.
Next week. And we'll also announce the winner. I totally slipped my mind that we started a new month. So yeah, we don't have a giveaway, but we will. Comment, enter to win. Thanks for following us. We will. Right? Is that everything?
I think so.
Sorry, I slightly distracted. My boss keeps texting me, which is fine. Love it. Glad I have a job.
I'm glad you have a job too. Money is awesome. Money makes the world go
it does make the world
money
go round.
buys yarn at a discount at Chicken Lady Fiber Arts.
Yes, exactly. So thanks for joining us. Make sure you comment to be entered to do our giveaway. And thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
We will see you soon.
See you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.